guys, how's it going? I stumbled upon a video 2 days ago, late at night, by the artist Amy Right Meow, and it was called Aphantasia, and I was like, I don't know, this looks cool, the thumbnail looks cool, I had a bunch of views, it was recommended to me, so I was like, sure, I'll watch that video. It's probably about some like interesting sciencey thing that I like don't know about but would like to learn about. So if you've seen the video, I'll try to figure out how to link it. She starts off with like a visualization exercise where you're talking about an apple and like visualizing an apple and like where is it at and can you change the color and is it at dark and what if you took a bite out of it and all that stuff. So I start thinking about that, right? Most people can think about those things. And then she asked, on a scale of 0 to 10, what is your visualization like? Right, with 10 being, it's so vivid, it looks real to me in my mind's eye. It just looks like I'm looking at a picture, or looking at a movie, or whatever. And 0 being, you see nothing. And originally, first of all, it just got me sort of thinking right then and there and being like, what do you mean, see it? Like, I can think about it. I can like recall what an apple, what I like know to be an apple, right? And then she was like, and then she was talking about herself, and then she was like, for me, it's 0. I don't see anything. And that's when my world just kind of crumbled around me, because I don't see anything in my head. I am blind in my mind's eye. So if I close my eyes like this, I mean, most people can see darkness, right? But if they want to conjure up an image, they can do so, and I cannot. I don't see anything. I don't know, it was really emotional. I am now just more like curious and confused and just like in this weird space, but I started crying like really hard when I was like, I don't see anything. And when she said like, I thought it was a euphemism that people would say like, oh, imagine yourself on a beach, right? Like I also felt that way. I did not realize that people could really do that. They see things in their head. Like, you can do that? People fucking do that? What does that mean? I can't even like think about it because I can't. I mean, I imagine it's like watching a movie or dreaming or looking at a picture, but like I don't see anything. I can't. It doesn't matter how long I sit there and I will myself to like visualize something, nothing appears ever. And I didn't know that that was abnormal because that's how I've been all my life. I think. I don't know. It's weird, right? Because you don't know if you're missing something if you don't know you're missing it. So it's like, I never really thought about it because that is just the way I think the way my life has been this is the way my brain has been my whole life. And when I also just really resonate, like when she's talking about like, if I have to try to visualize something in my head or think about it, I have to think about facts. And so when she was like, visualize an apple, I was like, okay, like, right, when you think about a stereotypical apple, it's red and waxy and shiny and vaguely spherical and maybe has a stem on it. And, you know, when she said like, visualize night, it's like, okay, I know what the night looks like. It's like black or with stars or navy blue or that sort of thing. I have to think about facts that relate to what I'm trying to visualize and then like amalgamate those facts together. But I still don't see anything ever at all. It's just like, oh right, I know what the color red is. I've seen it before. I can identify it. Obviously, if I look at something red, I know what the night is, I know what an apple looks like, but I can't make it happen in my head. And when she was like, fiction readers, so I am an extremely avid reader, and I love fiction. I love sci-fi, I love post-apocalyptia, any weird, off the beaten path fiction, I love it. I eat it all up. But as a general rule, I've pretty much read every day of my life since middle school. I really got into reading fiction. I started reading Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys. I ate those books up when I was in 5th and 6th grade. And I've just been reading avidly ever since, and I love fiction. I very rarely read nonfiction, even though I'm trying to branch out into some of that. And she was like, I never got it. I never understood why people read fiction, because they can visualize the things that are happening in the book in their head, and I can't. And I agree, I also cannot. I talked to my partner yesterday, and he was like, yeah, if I'm really in the zone and I'm really focusing, he's like, I stop seeing the words on the page and I start just seeing a visual picture of what's happening. He's constructing a visual picture of what's happening in real time, like a movie or a dream. Is that what y'all see? I don't see that. I do not understand what that means. And I love to read, and it baffles my mind. If I'm reading and I'm reading about a character, right? It's like, there is a woman and she's wearing a white ruffly top and it's Victorian and all that. I have to think about the facts of that, being like, okay, yes, right, white ruffly Victorian top. I've seen those before. I know what those look like. She has dark skin. Okay, yes, I know. Like, is she black? Okay, yes. And I can sort of piece together from lots of memories and facts I know to be this is all these. It would be what I would be seeing would be all of these things together, but I still don't see anything, so I can't ever really imagine something. It's kind of if a police sketch artist, right, were able to tell you every single detail about a person's face or whatever, and people are really good at visualizing, may be able to kind of construct a visual representation of that person in their head. I don't think I can ever do that. I can think about all the little facts and think about okay, yes, I know someone with a skinny nose or a hooked nose, or I know what big lips look like, or green eyes, but I can't make that amalgamation of those things appear in my head. And so when I read, I just kind of have to think about the facts, and nothing ever appears to me. I just read the words. I'm just literally focused in reading the words, and I can sort of think about, and I really love, and this isn't unique, I guess, but I really love emotional storytelling, when books are trying to describe a character or something, and they use a lot of descriptive words. That's great, that's helpful. I can sort of fumble through it with my memories and facts and things that I know about the world. But when people are talking about emotional stuff or whatever that, I can really relate to those things, because I'm I know what that feels like. I dream a lot. I dream very vividly, and it's my brain is constructing a movie. And in the morning, if I try to recall those dreams, which I often can, I can vaguely recall usually pieces of my dream in the morning, almost every single morning. I just have to think about what happened and sort of think about it as if I were remembering a movie. So I can sort of be oh right, this happened and this was this color and this was what I was doing. So I have to recreate it using all these tiny little facts, all these tiny little details to get to what the picture was like, and I can explain it to somebody, but I'm not re-seeing that in my head, if that makes sense. It's very strange. I also am an artist. Art has been center in my life for a very long time, and the person, Amy Right Meow, is a visual artist. She's an animator and drawer and illustrator and all those things, and she's like, why? Why did I choose this thing? Like, it's so hard for me. I can't visualize in my head what a drawing would look like before I draw it. And that's the same with me. If I think about a piece of like jewelry that I want to make, I have to think about like different facts and different qualities of what the work would be like, and then I have to sketch it. Like, I'd be like, okay, I want a ceramic chain, and I know what chain looks like, and I've made ceramic chain before, and the chain would be like roughly this big and this long, and it would attach in these ways. And so I have to like pick it, completely deconstruct my idea and think about all the little pieces that make it something, and then try to sketch that out. And I've never been a good drawer either. I did okay at still life painting, and I think that that's because I'm like, you're literally looking at it as you draw it, right? You don't have to remember anything, you don't have to visualize it, you're looking at it. But yeah, drawing from memory is like, I can't do that. I don't like know how to do that, and it was always very frustrating to me. And I just did not know that I was having to approach pretty much everything that mattered to me in my life in a different way. Like, I have to think about art in a different way. I have to think about like coming up with ideas in different ways. And Amy Right Meow talked a lot about reference and like looking at things for reference, and like I have to do that all the time. And I'll like snap a photo of something, or like I just have thousands of photos on my phone of things that I'm like, oh right, that's sort of a shape that I would like want to recreate in the future, or like this has this quality that I would like to replicate. Yeah, it's just like I have to use all these little facts and pieces and memories and photos to like sort of bring it all together into one vision that is my vision. My sketches are really shitty, but my sculptures are oftentimes okay, or my jewelry. I have to do so much research. This is so new. It's blowing my mind. I can't stop thinking about it. It freaks me out. It makes me sad. I feel like I'm missing a big part of what most people experience. I don't experience that. I can't see anything. It's just dark. It's just dark in here. There is nothing here in here. I have a really rich life, and I found success, and I found success even as an artist, and I enjoy books so much. I read fiction, I love it, but I don't see anything ever, and that just makes me experience the world differently. So I need to do a ton of research. I guess it just was named in 2015. Like, this was just named as a condition in 2015. And the rough estimate is that between 1% to 2% of people have it, out of all people, which is not a lot. It's a lot, like, when you think about, like, oh, there's like 8 billion people on the planet, but 1% is, like, not a lot. And it's so understudied that it's hard to know. And, like, it's a spectrum, right? Like, you could be, like, some people only see in their mind's eye in black and white, or it's blurry, or they're just not very good at it. And then some people, like I said, are 10, like they are like, can like create 3D things in their mind and they look real and they can flip them, and like that just like, I can't even think about that. And then there's people like me who are a 0 on the scale and see nothing. So I'm excited to learn more. It scares me. It's very strange. It rocked me because I learned that I don't experience the world like almost every single person that experiences the world. Yeah. I don't know. Comment below. Let me know. Do you know people like this? Are you like this? Are you not like this? Is it weird to you? It's weird to me. So like, let me know what you think. All right.